Hello, my creative friends, and welcome back to Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, your daily source of artistic inspiration during the Inktober Tangles 2023. I'm Yehudit Steinberg, your Certified Zentangle Teacher, and it's an absolute delight to be here with you once again. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell of notification so you never miss a moment of creative exploration. We're dedicated to making the Zentangle method accessible to everyone, whether you're a beginner or an experienced tangler. No question is too small, so feel free to ask us in the comments. And better yet, don't forget to join our lively Sunday virtual art lab. It's a perfect place to connect with like-minded artists from around the world and get your questions answered. You can get all that information in the description of this video. And for your convenience, I have now added chapters in the video descriptions so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. But before we dive into today's tangle, let's take a moment to revisit the beautiful patterns we've explored in the past few days. On day 18, we learned Zuto, a Japanese-inspired tangle meaning eternity, followed by Knightsbridge on day 19, a versatile beginner grid and drama tangle. It's one of the first original tangles from Zentangle Inc. And on day 20, we learned the blossom and leaf tangle, Kalua. It's a fun beginner tangle, and we learned it both as a leaf and a blossom. It's always a pleasure to learn and create together. If you haven't watched these videos and drawn these different patterns, the links to all the previous Inktober Tangle 2023 are in the description of this video. Now let's get started with introducing today's tangle, Enoc, deconstructed by Danielle De Palma Mabanta, CZT. She says, the more I draw, the more I see tangles all around me, at the store, in nature, at work, literally every place I go. I never sought out to create my own pattern. It just happened as I was thinking about winter. This tangle is a beginner's tangle. I've created a step out for easy learning. Follow me along step by step as we construct a blossom tangle from this new pattern. We'll learn how to draw step by step. First, I'll show you the step out. Here we are on my studio desktop. And as you can see, I have the step out. I do this every day for every pattern during Inktober Tangles 2023. I also have my supplies here. This is my mechanical pencil I use for sketch lines. I have a Micron 01 for fine drawing. I have a Micron 08 if I'm wanting a thicker line. I have a graphite pencil for shading. I have a larger blending tool for larger shading areas, and I have this blending tool for fine areas. I also have brought in an 05 Statler for a different amount of ink if I need it. And I also will be highlighting with a little bit of gold gel. I'll be drawing this blossom tangle on a bijou 2-inch tile. You if you have your beginner's guide, which you can get when you sign up for our art lab, and the link is in the description, I have templates for the step outs, and you can draw your own step out, which I highly recommend, especially if you do that and keep a diary. You'll have a diary of all the different tangles, and you can refer to that when you want to draw the tangle. Now it's time to take the screenshot of day 21 Enoc, a blossom tangle. Now let's get started drawing the pattern Enoc. So I'm going to start with the four corners, the dots and four corners, which is a typical step in the Zentangle method. And we use our graphite to draw, and notice I turn my tile to keep my hand in the same position that is most comfortable for drawing my best lines. What I did with Enoc to get this center of the blossom in a specific order here, I eyeballed the center, which I'm going to say is around here. And then I, again with my graphite, I'm giving it a little guideline. And I find that that helps, especially in the beginning when learning these patterns. Now we're going to do step one, and I made a slight change because I found it was a little easier for me to put these little C shapes in first, and then we'll go and put a bottom. Oops, there we go. And then we'll put a bottom on that C shape. So let's get started. When you're first beginning, it's certainly okay to come in and put a put the initial pattern in with a pencil, graphite, or if you're more seasoned and feel more confident, then go right ahead and ink it. I personally like to line up the beginning of my tangles, so especially when they build upon each other, that's my way of doing it. Now that's step one, and notice I left a little bit of space in between these C shapes. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, okay, that looks like what they should look like. So I'm going to give it my ink. And then I'm going to go to step two, which is I'm going to put just a little curve line and connect each one of these. And this is the center of our blossom tangle Enoc. Now the next step is a little bit specific as well, and that's why I suggest that you go ahead and create a step out, because you will learn the nature of this pattern by doing it step by step, and when you make your missteps, you'll see. So I want to so now we're going to add petals around this center. And the way I did it is you're going to start like almost in the middle, a little bit to the side, and I'm going to bring a C curve around here for petal 1. I'm going to turn my tile. And then I'm going to come and give a petal, and I'm going to land it on the edge of this next one. And they seem to be in the original design around 7 of these petals. And here I am, I'm in the middle. I'm going to come and bring it up and over to this side. I'm going to turn it again. I'm going to have a petal that's on the end, and then I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to meet it here. And now we have the outline. The next step is we're going to go all the way around with an aura. Turn my tile. This is step 4. There we go. Now, this next step, or it's actually the last step that we're going to do. So I want to bring it in. Here's step 5. So the way that I'm seeing this blossom built is that we're going to start with 1 petal here, full C petal, and then we're going to add like half C's all the way around. And this one is going to start here, and it's going to come over to here. And then I'm going to come up on the side here, and I'm going to give it like a half C. And I'm going to continue to do that, turning my tile. All the way around. It comes out a little different every time. And that's one of the things I like about Zentangle. You don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. And now we've come all the way around. And we have the basic blossom. Now it's time to embellish and shade. So let's see what happens now. So what I like to do at this particular time, I usually take a look at the tangle. I may hold it away from me, and I might ask, what if I do X? Well, it's a blossom, and I think the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to come into the center, and I'm going to work on the center. So I'm going to give it an orb. And then I'm going to darken it around this orb. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come around the outside, and I'm going to aura on the inside all of these outside petals. This is where your imagination and creativity come in. Once you've gotten the framework of pattern, a lot of times what I do is I go to the Zentangle app, see if anybody else has done the pattern and some of the different ways that they might have embellished or shaded the pattern. So I've come all the way around, and let's take a look at what I did on this one. So I added a little bit of gold to give it a little spark. And then on every other one of these petals, I added some orbs. And then I put a little design at the top. So let's see how we can do that. But I think I'm going to put, first of all, I'm going to do a little rounding around these petals to have it stand out a little. I go into this V and I give it like a little U shape, and it starts to delineate the different layers. So and I'm just going to be this is improv here, so you're getting a chance to see how I start to think as I create. So I think this time I want to put the circles here, the orbs. I'm going to go all the way around. A little tight space in here. That's a little bit of interest. And I think I'm going to add a little color to this blossom. And actually I'm going to try every other one because everyone. But I'm going to start this way, and it may end up that I do all of them, but we'll see. Now I'm going to come and add the center. I'm going to make it gold. And I still feel like it needs a little bit of dimension. So I just had this idea that maybe what I'll do is give it some line work. And you see, I say, oh, maybe that's working. And I continue. I'm giving it a little bit of a curve. Now, I have to say that when I started out to give you this demonstration, I did not know how exactly I would embellish this blossom. And I probably will do some more work on this. I'm going to come in now and I'm going to give it some graphite where I just did those lines on that petal. And if I want to really accentuate the circles that I made, I could go in and follow up with a little bit of the gold. And I'm going to now just give a little bit of blending. I'm leaving that little center standing out a bit. So I decided to come around and give a gold trim to this aura that we did on the outside of these petals. Now I'm coming through with my 01 and I'm inking over the making that outside line prominent. Give it a finishing touch. I encourage you to go and be creative with your version of Enoc. And that concludes the demonstration of drawing day 21, the Enoc pattern. If you're enjoying our tutorials and haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It helps us reach more creative folks like you. And don't forget about our Sunday virtual art lab. This Sunday, we are drawing the tangle for day 22, Syndeo, together. You can ask your questions and get them answered. Syndeo in Greek means bind or tie together. Bring your supplies to the virtual meeting. And if you haven't already signed up, the link is in the description. It's a vibrant community where we learn, share, and grow together. Check the description for all the details. Don't forget I've added chapters in the video description so you can easily jump to the step out or follow the pattern drawing step by step. Check the video description for quick navigation. As we look ahead, mark your calendars for our upcoming beginner series in November. Starting in November, our Sunday Art Lab on Zoom starts its Beginners Sunday. Easy pattern demonstrations you can draw with me. Registration opens on Sunday, October 23rd. It's the perfect opportunity to deepen your Zentangle practice. Plus, for those who'd like to show extra support and buy us a virtual cup of coffee, visit our Ko-fi.com tip jar. Your support keeps this creative space going. Well, that's it for today's Tangle exploration. Remember, there's no behind, just a world of creativity ahead. Stay inspired, and we'll see you on day 22, learning Syndeo. It's a beginner's tangle and fun to learn. Happy tangling!